Hands on your body, I don't wanna waste no time. Hey guys, it's your girl Naturally Nata here. I'm here today to do a full highlight and contour video with you guys. I haven't done a video like this on my channel yet where I go in depth about how to highlight and contour your face, so I figured I'd do that today. Highlighting and contouring can take your face from looking like this, which is just very flat, no type of dimension, to really structuring and adding dimension and shadows to your face and really creating some things that maybe you wish you had that you don't without actually like going under the knife. So I'm gonna show you how you could get a nose job. Black girls want slim noses too. I love nose contour. I like my nose now, but I really like contouring my nose because I really just feel like it takes the whole look to a whole nother level. So I'm gonna show you how to get a black girl nose job and to cut those cheekbones, to slim your face down, to highlight underneath your eyes so you look nice and bright and awake, and really cover up those dark circles and those sunken in like areas that I have, as you can see, like right here. Just cover that all up and make it look flat and straight. That's what we're doing today. I'm going to show you how to get the perfect like Barbie doll type face, all with makeup that washes away at the end of the night. So as you can see, I have my eyeshadow done, I have my brows, and I also have my foundation on. So we're just gonna hop straight on into the concealer. As you can see, our face looks flat right now. There's no type of dimension. You can still see my bags. You can still see dark circles. I don't have any type of structure because we covered it all up. Any type of structure I did have with my cheekbones, or covered those natural shadows up with the foundation. So we're just gonna bring it back into my face. What I have learned from getting into makeup is that a lot of it is covering up and then bringing it back to life, like covering up what you have and then recreating it to look the way you want it to. So it's a lot of covering things up and it's a lot of bringing things out. It's like a combination of both. So I'm going to share with you some concealers that I love that are really full coverage, because that's what we're doing, a full coverage highlight and contour routine. One of my favorites that's really affordable is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles Treatment Concealer. A very long name, but it's a very, very good product. Some other options that I really like, and these are both affordable too, is the Sephora Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer, and also the ColourPop one is actually really good, the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and also of course the Makeup Revolution Concealer. So we're going to use this Maybelline one today. It's in the shade Golden. I'm going to put it everywhere that I want to brighten and everywhere that I want to conceal. So we want to conceal our dark circles and we want to brighten this area. So we're doing both things to this area right here. So I'm just going to put it underneath my eyes. And I bring it really close to my nose, as you can see, because this also works as a nose contour. When you have a lot of eyeshadow on, you also want to bring it, and especially if you have a winged liner like I do, you want to bring it all the way, like basically to the end of your brow bone, and that's just going to lift your eyes up, and that's also going to sharpen your eyeshadow, sharpen your wing. It's just going to make everything look a lot better. If you don't have a lot of eyeshadow on, I do not suggest bringing the concealer all the way up. You could just stop it right here. Just do it right underneath your eyes, because that's just unnecessary, really. You also want to bring it into those inner corners, because that's going to brighten that area up too. That's another area that really needs to be brightened. So make sure to bring it all the way into the inner corner also. I also do my Cupid's bow. I just do that whole area underneath my nose and above my lip. Also my chin, because we want the light to be all in the center of our face. This is just bringing light to the center of our face by doing those two areas. Down the center of our nose, because once again, that's the center of our face, and also the center of our forehead. If you have a very large forehead, don't do too much right here. My forehead is kind of big, so I don't do a lot. I just do it right in the center right here. And I also like to conceal, I'm not trying to highlight this area, but I also like to conceal my smile lines. It helps prevent cracking and creasing, because I get a lot of creasing in this area right here. So now we're going to contour. I love cream contouring. I feel like cream contouring will just take your look to the next level. If you're doing a full coverage look, you definitely want to cream contour. It's just going to make your contour last longer and stand out more, and it's just necessary. And so I'm going to take the Fenty Beauty Match Sticks. This is one of the best contour sticks that I have found that works really, really good, and that is just so easy to use. This is in the shade Truffle. I'm gonna draw the line on my cheekbone. You can suck your cheeks in like, and you'll see the line. And you can also start where your hairline ends and meets your ear. That's where I really like to draw it. And I do a little curve, like a smile. I like to really carve out that cheekbone. I also do it around my forehead. Like I said, my forehead is quite large, so I really want to do a shadow there, create a shadow there. It will make it appear smaller. You could also do your jawline. I'll do that today since we're going all out. So just draw a line straight down from your hairline along the bottom of your jaw. And you can also do your nose. I am going to do my nose, of course, but I'm going to wait until I blend the rest of this out. I like going back in and drawing my nose contour after I have blended out all this concealer, because if I draw these lines down right now, they're really just going to get blended away. So I'll go back and do that. So now it's time to blend this out. I did let this concealer sit here for, I would say, about a minute or two. I have mentioned in my videos a lot of times before that I love to let my concealer dry down just a bit before I blend it out. That's just going to create more coverage, and it actually makes it a lot simpler to blend out, especially if your concealer is a bit watery. This one is not watery, but I just wanted to sit there just to let it sink into my skin and give me more coverage and be easier to blend out. I love blending out my concealer most of the time with a beauty sponge. This is one of my favorite beauty sponges, one of the best that I have found, which is the Morphe Highlight and Contour Sponge. I love how it has this straight edge at the top. If you can see that, it fits really perfectly underneath your eye, and it also helps to sharpen everything up as far as your eyeshadow and your winged eyeliner and everything like that. It's so soft, it's so squishy, and it doesn't tear easily when you're washing it. It's just a really great sponge, and it's very affordable. It's only $7. You can actually find this in stores at Ulta now because they carry Morphe, or you can find it on Morphe's website. So I do not start with my under eye when I'm blending everything out. I like to start at the bottom and then work my way up and then do my under eyes. Once again, I want my under eye to sit there as long as possible to get the most out of the concealer and to get the most coverage. My smile lines, I blow my face up like that. That's just helping not to set any type of creasing, or I feel like it helps my face crack less, my smile line, so that's why I do that. Alright, now that I have my concealer blended out, I'm going to go in and draw my nose contour. To draw my nose contour, I just draw it down the sides of my nose. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I also do it all the way down that middle part of my nose, just to create a shadow right there. It really lifts your nose up just to make it look nice and cute. And I also just do one stripe across the bridge. I love using a brush like this. This is the BH Cosmetics 117 brush, but it's just like a flat type of brush like this that's angled. It just makes it really easy to blend your contour out. You want to push your cream contour up, any contour, even the powder. You want to push it up, not down, and swirl it. So I'll show you what I mean by that. But I have another one right here, just something like flat but yet angled at the same time. There's a freaking fly in here. An angle brush is just what's really easy to blend out cream contour. You can use a beauty sponge. I don't really like doing that, especially with these stick type of cream contours, because it's very difficult. So what I'm gonna do is just blend this upwards. I'm trying not to go below because, as you can see, we're already creating that cheekbone right there. So just push it up. And that'll just really blend that line out. See? Once again, I'm going to push this back. I'm not going to push it down. I'm going to push it back into my hairline to create that nice shadow. You don't want there to be a huge circle of concealer on the middle of your forehead, so it is okay to like get it a little bit on that center area so the concealer and the contour are blended together. You never want to swipe, especially with the cream contour. You're just patting and moving it upwards. You don't want to remove the product, you just want to disperse it and blend it. Now for the jawline, I'm just gonna bring that down onto my neck. Once again, we're trying to keep that area right below the cheekbone. We're trying to keep that clear of any like contour type product because you want to see that definition. Any extra you can take around your chin. You can also contour there if you want to. You can also contour beneath your lip if you want to get a more powderier type of look. I don't really do that. So as you can see now, there's a lot more definition and dimension into our face. We have a bright under eye. We have like a chiseled cheekbone. And then when we set it with a powder, it's just going to take it to a whole new level. We have a nice shadow on our forehead. So you can see the brightness in the center just a bit, but it's still blended together. To blend out my nose contour, I love using a brush that's like this. This one's by DoColor. You can find them on Instagram or at docolor.hk. This is a like angled brush. It's perfect for going down your nose and blending out a nose contour. Anything angled and small will work great. The nose contour, you just blend it up and down, just all the way down. My nose usually looks a bit harsh at first, but then I just go in with my sponge and I'm just gonna pat over it, pat the sides, and just keep patting it until the harshness goes away and it looks more blended. And already, as you can see, it looks a lot better. And now there's no harsh line. You can also go over everything with your sponge. And that will just make sure everything's all nicely blended together and there's no like extreme harsh line. Before you add any powders on top, everything's, you know, still wet at this point. So you want to do this before you add your powders on, just to make sure everything's nice and blended together. Now we have to set everything in place. I'm really shocked to find that a lot of people that not set their creams. You have to set any cream liquid that you put on your face. You need to set it with a powder, especially if you have oily skin. You can't just put creams and liquids on your face and then just, you know, leave and expect them to stay and expect them to look good. You have to set your face with powder. Normal, dry, oily, you need to be setting your face. So my favorite powder is most definitely the Makeup Revolution Luxury Banana Powder. This is what it looks like right here. $7 setting powder that is amazing. I love this one. Another great drugstore option is the MILANI powder. This is the 03 Translucent Banana Powder. This one is the best. This one is my favorite. I use it non-stop. Especially for women of color, a banana powder is just perfect for us. And this one is so good. Banana powders are good for women of color because they have some type of tint to them. Yellow goes really good with our skin tones for the most part, most of us. So it just makes us not look too ghostly. Sometimes when you use the normal translucent powder that doesn't have any type of yellow tint to it or any brown type of tint to it or anything like that, it can look too Casperly, it can look too casket ready. So a yellow tinted powder really works well for us. The Laura Mercier translucent powder, that's another one. I have it over there. I don't feel like getting up and getting it, but I love that one too. It is a translucent powder with no type of tint to it, but I really like it. And they do have a medium deep option, which is awesome too. It is a bit expensive, so if you don't want to do that one, I would suggest one of these banana powders. And for the medium deep, I would suggest the translucent medium deep from Milani. This is like basically the same thing and it's way cheaper. What I do with the Makeup Revolution powder, I just put some in the cap right here. The only thing about this powder is that the packaging sucks. I just put it in the cap and then I just squeeze my sponge into it. Always tap off the excess powder onto the back of your hand when you're setting your concealer and your highlight, so you have a nice even layer of powder. It's not all chunky. There's not like a whole bunch of powder over here and then like a little sparse area of powder on the other side. You want a nice even layer of powder. You also want to make sure there's no creasing under your eyes before you set concealer with powder, because if you set your eyes with creasing under it, you are setting the creases. So you don't want to do that. I don't really get creasing, but I just did that anyway. Why not? Can't hurt anything. And then I just take my sponge, and as you can see, look at that already, and I just did one layer. As you can see, that just really brightened it up right there. You see the difference from this side to this side. I love this powder so much. I normally do not bake really. I just melt the powder into my skin, but I'm gonna let that bake for today so I can show you, you know, the full picture of what everything looks like. So now I'm just gonna go in with more powder and set all the areas that we put concealer. Underneath the cream contour, because that will really just chisel out our cheekbones even more. So now it's time to dust all this powder away. What I like to do to dust the powder away is to use a medium deep type of translucent powder. I'm going to use the Milani one today that I previously showed you. To do that, I just like using a large powder brush. This one is by IGHT Beauty. I love this brush so much. It's huge and it's perfect. It works so good. It's $5 at Walmart and I love it. It works so well. I put some in the cap and I'm just getting that all over the brush, and I'm gonna tap off the excess. Press this into my skin and sweep away at the same time. So this not only wipes away the powder, but it also adds color back into our face. If you use a normal translucent powder, this will take away from some of that ghostliness. If you have any, like if your face is looking a little ghostly. Once again, you want to pat first, then you can go ahead and wipe away, because you don't want to move your contour because we have not set that yet. This is going to make our powder contour go on so much more smoother because we have already set our entire face. The contoured areas really are already set. We just need to bring them out more, make them look darker, more pronounced, chisel our face a little bit more. We have bright under eyes. We have chiseled cheekbones, which we're about to chisel even more. Our face does not look ghostly. It's looking good. So we just have a few more steps to do. Now we need to set this contour. We need to set it with a powder. I'm going to show you two options that I really love to use to set my cream contoured areas. One drugstore and one high-end. So for the high-end, I love this one right here. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. It's really, really good. It's really, really pigmented, and the shades are really good for women of color, white women, anybody. These are really, really good. And there's also banana powder, which is awesome. If you are lucky, you can find this at TJ Maxx. I actually found mine at TJ Maxx. They still sell this in Sephora and everything like that, but the only reason that they're at TJ Maxx, maybe Marshall's, Ross, places like that, is because she changed the packaging. So the old packaging is being sold in TJ Maxx, and this palette is $49 if you go to Sephora. I got mine for about $25, I believe, but if you are willing to splurge and you can't find it at TJ Maxx, definitely check Sephora because this is still sold. This is an amazing palette. I say that it's good for a lot of different skin tones because even this deep shade right here is sometimes too dark for me. So this middle shade is the one that I really like to use, and I really like using this banana shade too. Another great drugstore option that is quite new that I've just gotten is this NYX 3 Steps to Sculpt Face Sculpting Palette. This is in medium, and once again, this one is awesome. It comes with a highlighter, it comes with a banana shade, and it comes with a contour shade. So this is what I'm going to use to finish up my whole entire face. I'm even going to use the highlight because the highlight is gorge. There's also the Wet n Wild contouring palette in Caramel Toffee. That one just has a banana shade and a contouring shade, and that one is amazing. Once again, amazing for women of color. Beautiful. It's only $5. So if you can find this one or the Wet n Wild one, that's all you really need. So I'm going to go in with the contour shade right here, which is quite dark. I can't believe this is medium, which is awesome. So the deep shade be perfect for really deep skin tones. This one right here is a bit intense, even though it's just the medium. Once again, I'm going to take another angled brush. This one is not flat. This is a fluffy angled brush. This is perfect for doing a powder contour. This is the BH Cosmetics 114 brush. They have the best affordable brushes. They're amazing. So I'm putting a little bit of that on my brush, and I'm also tapping off the excess so it won't be too harsh. And I'm just going to put that angle in my cheekbone and put it right on top of where we cream contoured. I also like smiling and like swishing it in a circle and pushing that upwards. Once again, not down, pushing it up. And then I take the excess around the perimeter of my forehead because I don't want it to be too dark up there. Also connecting this, as you can see, is like a C shape. So our cheekbone, this area right here that connects to our forehead contour, so it's just all seamless. I'm also going to take a little bit more and take it down on my jaw because we did cream contour there. So that's it for that. I'm also going to take that same shade, and I'm going to take the same angle brush. Even though we used it for a liquid, for a cream, it's okay. Very lightly, because we don't want to make it too dark. Once again, using those angles to do this part of my nose and that middle part, push it up, and also on the bridge, pushing that top part into my eyeshadow to create that shadow. And then going back in with my blending sponge, I'm just going to tap that all into my skin so there is no harsh lines. Alright, so now I'm also going to go into the banana shade. A lot of times I do like using like a loose banana powder and then taking a pressed banana powder and going over my highlighted areas because it'll just bring out those areas even more. To do that, I'm going to take like a teardrop shaped brush. I like using teardrop brushes to do that because, as you can see, they fit perfectly underneath the eye. They're perfect for like just going right here and going underneath here. We're going to take this banana shade right here. I'm going to swipe that underneath my eye. Swipe it back. As you can see, that kind of brightened it up even more. Also going to swipe it where my smile line is down here, connecting all these areas that we highlighted underneath the eye, down here where my smile lines are, and also underneath here. Also bringing it down the sides of my nose, as you can see. Do now that I have all the powders on my face is I'm going to set my face. To set my face, I'm going to use the MILANI Make It Last Makeup Setting Spray. I love this stuff so much. So I set the heck out of my face, and that's really going to take away from that powderiness on our face. That's really going to melt everything together. If anything looked a bit like harsh or patchy or powdery, this is going to melt everything together. And while that's still dewy, I'm going to go in and highlight my face. and you're going to just highlight the top portion of your cheekbone. So basically right above where you did that contour, bring it down on your cheeks. I like bringing it down onto my cheeks also, because when I smile, look at that. I also do my nose. You have to do the tip of your nose. Like, you can also do a C shape right here. And I love doing my chin. But as you can see, that highlight is so beautiful. Then once I do that, I like setting my face one more time. Whew. So now that our face is snatched, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my eyes. I like finishing up my eyes and doing my mascara once I have set my face and everything, so there's no like black marks or anything like that from the mascara that gets on my face. So now that I'm completely done with my face, I'm gonna finish up my eyes, do my lips, and I'll be right back with the finished look. This is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this look right here. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel on your way out and check out a few of my previous uploads. I will really appreciate that. And other than that, guys, I can't wait to hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.